go. What's going on, everybody? This is Samir Azizi, and you're now tuning into Azizi Podcast. Today, with me is the returning guest, Alex Z. We're going to talk about sports marketing. We're going to discuss Arthur Beterbiev and Callum Smith. Alex, how's it going?
Good, thank you. Like the fight was great, the time was good, so like now we have a lot of things to discuss about.
Exactly. So, that fight happened around a month ago, I believe. And just
Exactly,
spoiler alert,
exactly.
Beterbiev has won by a KO. Um, I'm not sure why we have a Gvozdik highlight there. Oh, that's probably because it's something from a previous fight. But anyways, so Beterbiev won by the KO and Callum Smith was knocked out for the first time. So I just wanted to analyze this fight with you, Alex, and to see how their social media performed, how the marketing performed of the fight in general. Maybe we can see some stats like last time. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like pretty great, like ready to discuss because, like, I mean, the video, I mean, 2 hours long and 363,000 views. So, like, I think this is like worth of discussing, and the match was great. Like, I mean, in my opinion, it's worth of discussing. So, like, I mean, and if you're gonna continue with stats and data that we jump in last time. So
Yeah,
again, I coming back to some Google Trends information that I have.
yeah, I see the huge spike here for the fight, and just to let you know, you are watching. You're looking at Canada, which I think we should really look at the United States, by the way, just to have like a better representation.
I mean, your wish come true, no problem. Like a couple of clicks and like we are here.
There you go. All right, because a lot of our listeners and viewers will be from the United States, and the United States is where things are happening for boxing,
Yeah.
even though the fight happened in Canada. But we're only 40 million people, and unfortunately, boxing is not even that popular in Canada,
Yeah,
except
but can you notice a little bit different? So like look, blue it's blue graph it's a TV program, red is Arthur Butterbaev and yellow is Callum Smith. And
yep.
if we're gonna change to Canada, you can see that like here like event and Callum Smith almost match.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like interesting note to have. Like
Well, that's because Arthur is based in Quebec, right? He fights out of Canada. He's officially Canadian. He's officially a Canadian boxer, not a Russian boxer.
mhm.
And I feel like he has like a fan base, and he's trending more as a Canadian in his own country. And then the United States is kind of more neutral, I would say, to the whole thing. So it's a representation. Like Callum Smith and Arthur Bitter Beef is on par. You just switched it to the United Kingdom, so I see that the trend is actually on par
and
with the chair
And
boxing
this is
boxer.
and this is I compare United Kingdom to also represent that like the boxers sometimes value of the boxer in their names during the event are sometimes higher than even the event itself. So for example, here is I choose United Kingdom to highlight that like sometimes the event is something that can bring you like the name of the boxer can bring you more exposure and more things that even event itself. So this is to highlight the search's intent in the United Kingdom, not United States.
So, what kind of conclusions can we draw from just purely looking at Google Trends? Like, what does that mean for us? Like, in terms of just
Leveraging the event is a crucial tool, not just like I mean from a boxer's standpoint, from their like PR and exposure and other stuff. So like promoting yourself based on event before the event and after, it's really crucial moment on my opinions, like from the digital marketing standpoint and from a boxer standpoint. So, I mean, you share the results of the boxing, and of course, the PR of the event can give you maybe new opportunities, new sponsorships, and other stuff. And it's really doesn't matter on the results because, like, we can see that both sportsmen have a good spike in the exposure. So, like, in terms of leveraging that stuff, is a crucial moment to have.
But what's funny though? It's like with a lot of boxing matches, you see just one spike here. You don't see a lot of trending before or after the fight. Only during the fight week you could see that there is an interest from the public. Other than that, it's relatively low. It's like around 10 points, 10 basis points. before and after the fight. And once the promotion is getting closer to the fight, that's when the pinnacle of is happening. But then even afterwards, it's just like okay, it's like never happened, and that's what's kind of that's where I feel like this is you know the marketing is missing out. You know, not only before but also the after the fight.
Mm,
There's a
I mean,
yeah.
totally agree with you, and this is why the event is crucial moment. This is because you need to that you need to have the event before, like to try to leverage the marketing momentum before the event, and try to keep as long lasting as long after event. This is why it's really crucial moment of that. Particular like, things for the marketing standpoint.
Yep, absolutely. And you know, I do want to see other statistics as well. Like, what do you feel like has changed after the fight? We've been looking at a lot of their social medias and just a lot of trends on the internet. Like, is there anything else that we can see that can be like representative of the what has changed after the event for them for the fighters?
Yes, I mean, like, really great question. This is what we were looking the social media. So, for example, here is Twitter, and we can see that like during the event, we have usually tremendous growth of the new followers. So, like all the boxers are having new followers during the event, especially as representative. Like you can see here in the graph is really for Twitter for. Um, Beterbiev, he's like has extra like 3,400 like subscribers. We never see that
That's
spike
actually a
before.
lot. That's a huge spike. Over 300,000 followers on Twitter. Is that it?
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So the
I actually rarely see so many followers at the same time getting onto someone's account, especially with the rank of he's definitely like you know one of the best boxers and the champion, but like in terms of his public persona, he's really really modest, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, and this is like, and this is potentially perspective why you should leverage the events that you have. So, like, because here is that this is a moment, so like that you need to maximize outcome of the subscribers and followers, and also you can see the content. They really not really pushing the content after. So, like, before and after, almost like not to get pushed by the content. You can see. Let's check also Callum Smith too. So it's also he also get like I mean here is not really like representative numbers, but you can see that he just not leveraging Twitter at all. Like actually we're losing like traction on Twitter for the particular boxer, but
Can you remind me
till
when the fight is actually happening? Because when I'm looking at the graph, I'm trying to understand when the fight actually happened. Was that like I just want exact date. Let me just Google this really quickly so I can see on the graph. Uh, See, that's why I said I don't want to share anything on my computer because it's so slow
okay.
when I'm
So
repeating.
I can also pitch you a little bit with the Instagram if you know mine.
Sure, sure. Let me just double check on the box rec when did the fight actually happen.
Fight happened 14th of last month, so exactly 30 days ago.
14th of last month. Okay, so I'm switching
Yeah.
back to your stats, and I
Hmm.
want to see exactly how many followers did Callum Smith gained after the fight. So we're looking right now um, at your graph, and it says we're starting with
No,
let me
if we take Callum Smith's Twitter, we can say that he lost followers on Twitter at that moment. But
where is
they both gained significantly number followers on Instagram. So you can see the Instagram one get
Callum Dev.
4,437.
Hmm.
Yeah, and other one get 46,000 new followers.
But that's I see here. It says like after January 24th and not 14th, or is it just like the graph is so far away that I can't see it? Okay,
Yeah, I mean the thing is the graph is have the year,
got it,
so it's 2019.
got it.
So like I mean it's in terms of a year, so this is last month like that was event was happening.
So can you
So
tell
this is
me how
Mhm.
many followers did Arthur Beterbiev gained on Twitter and Instagram after the fight, and then how many followers did Callum Smith got? on Twitter and Instagram after the fight?
So Arte Beterbiev giant like 65,000 on Instagram and around 5,000 on Twitter, and Callum Smith's giant around 5,000 on like 4,537 on Instagram, and he lost a little bit on Twitter. But
That's
we
pretty
can
good.
see that, yeah, but we can see that the event is crucial, like for the boxers to leverage their digital marketing efforts. So actually, like on my opinion, you like, I mean, you really can scale on a time of event. So like you can like scale at that moment to as much as you can. So, for example, I also make Google's YouTube search for these boxers. So, and we can see that like even after event, we still have the numbers like people publishing shorts, people publishing TikTok videos and other stuff. Actually, TikToks are doing pretty good. I didn't include detailed analytics of TikToks, but TikToks from the fight, it was doing really good. So I think the boxers like should leverage the events that they have to so like I'm sorry, I just to represent from us our last conversation that spikes it's fights of the boxers. So we understand that they really need to leverage each fight to maximize the outcome.
Hmm. What you're showing right now is the overall interest from users, and it is through what? It's through social medias as well, or just through this fight?
It's YouTube search. So
Mhm.
it's just YouTube search for particular sportsmen.
Here's my question:
Mhm.
it is the primary followership gain is probably not due to their active social media posting. It's probably just because the event was promoted, and so the fans are just following the fighters by default just because they have social media handles, so they just want to associate with the fighters so they follow. And so I'm thinking as because again, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're not really that active during the event or after the event. Like, can you tell me whether there was some activity that is like really really prominent?
Yeah,
Um,
this is what I want to show. This is you totally correct. So as we can see I mean after the event nothing.
Okay, so we see that there's because again, I just want to confirm that what we're looking at right now is Callum Smith's Instagram account, and he has
Hmm.
177,000 followers. And so what you're trying to show is that after the event happened, he didn't post anything at all. Is that correct?
Yeah. So
Okay,
we can see no, I mean stories yes, but I mean significant post or something. So like it's nothing here.
hmm. And so what about Arthur Beef? How's his performance on his
Just
Instagram?
a second. Mm, just a second. By the way, his interview on TikTok getting really good results. You can see that here, like we can see the number of posts, the after matches, like the fights and other stuff. So yeah, I mean he keep updating his social media during that fight.
What I can see here is dates. So I only see their videos, but I don't see like date stamps. Like, how do you know that he's posting up to the fight?
Yeah, like just a second. February 6th.
Hmm.
This is.
Okay, so if
Like
he's
I mean,
posting,
yeah, January 16, so like it's already 2 days after the event.
hmm,
So I mean, like and it's like I mean, but I don't know. He has somebody post his interview on TikTok. It's also he get really good number of user. So I
hmm.
think they're like I mean, like sometimes really fans doing the heavy lifting for the boxers in terms of mm, they're leveraging their marketing exposure, social media, and other stuff. So I think really the fans doing like really heavy lifting for some of the sportsmen.
So there are several factors that I think the reason why there's such difference. First of all, Callum Smith not posting anything on his Instagram after his loss. which is sort of understandable. Like, who wants to promote themselves more after a lot? Like, it takes a real kind of professionalism if, from the marketing perspective to, after even taking a loss, still trying to promote it themselves, right? That's why he only got 5,000 followers. And at the same time, he's also speaking about retirement. He is not really in the game anymore. He's not clear whether he wants to stay in boxing. So maybe he's just not motivated. But we can clearly see that there's no team behind it. There's no advisor or consultant or social media manager that he's paying for, directing his content. So that's one thing. So basically, Callum Smith is on the downturn of his career, and the interest, unfortunately, is being declined for him. Versus Arthur Beterbiev, he is the talk of the season. He actually is the acting world champion, and he is on his way to unify the belts and fight with Bivol. So he's actually been talked a lot about. So that it's one thing, right? So people want to see more of him. He's a knockout artist. And now it looks like we only have 10 minutes to speak on that. And at the same time, he is actively posting on his Instagram, and that contributes to his followership. At the same time, his followers are probably mostly of them are from Russia. And those audiences are much easier to gain, especially if you're like a fighter fighting abroad, and being like a national hero at your hometown. They will just all follow you like crazy. That's what I've learned as well.
Agree. The statistics show us the same numbers. You can see that like popularity of Arthur Beterbiev all over the world. So you can see that like I just gonna exclude the show, so it's not gonna screw our statistic.
Hmm.
So I mean, but this is you touch really good, interesting question. Like like I mean, yeah, you can see that Arthur Beterbiev, like Armenia, Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and other stuff. Yeah, I mean, but what is this? Callum Smith winning in Mexico,
Yeah.
51%. So I mean, but this is interesting other questions that you really can have do it to boxing experience and activities. You can have mass followings from all over the world. Like I mean, this is nice opportunities that you have. So like you can have because it's interesting. Callum Smith, if you're gonna check the YouTube, it's some UK fans that they did the cutting like shorts video for their fight. So this is good. Like like you can see that like who support like who and by the countries and other stuff. You can also notice the comments in a match when you can see that a lot of comments are in Russian, like okay,
Hmm.
so yeah, I mean you can see the difference. But the thing is like as we can see the spike is not much and like you really need to leverage event. We're not talking about like constantly posting, but I'm really like saying that like we need to considering the event as main point of focus of like PR, marketing and other exposure. Like and you also like for example, you bring a really good statistic to me about like the number of punches like just a second I'm gonna broad the numbers. I mean that statistic also can be a really good leverage during the I mean the time for from the match it happened till the end. So for example you can make the short videos, you can explain like this is interesting, it's nice even if you lost, let's work on the mistakes, let's discuss it, let's like I mean
Just FYI, if you were about to bring the statistics, we're not seeing it on the screen,
uh, sh-
because you're sharing.
okay,
Yeah, you're probably sharing the just the Chrome. But
I'm sorry.
it's a general compo box stats on all the jabs, punches landed, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like it's really interesting to discuss. So you everybody like I mean, like it's also people who follow you. They're really interesting about feedback. How do you feel? What the stuff that you're gonna do and other stuff. So this is, but like what you said, like I mean, yeah, I mean, I agree. If you're gonna start talking about retirement, I think this is not the point to talk on social media because like you potentially gonna not gonna have the like potential contracts or fights. So like yeah, this is also you need to be really careful what you share and how you share in social media.
I would even add to the fact that the reason why Beterbiev is so active on social media is because he is about to start selling his next fight versus Dmitry Bivol, and that's gonna be a huge fight that is supposedly gonna happen in May in Saudi Arabia. And so he's already in the process of making money. He's already trying to he's already trying to kind of bring attention to himself more in the facts that, you know, his fight is only like 3 months away. That's going to be for all the belts, for all the titles.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's actually getting to the pinnacle of his career. So that's where his, you know, biggest money grab is coming, is from that unified title fight. And you know, which is not clear whether he's gonna win or not win. So it's not gonna be like that he's a clear winner, because Dmitry Bivol, he's like the only second guy who beat Canelo after Floyd Mayweather. So there is a clear goal at in other Beterbiev's team's mind, is like, okay, we got that fight done. Now let's focus on promoting our next fight through promoting your Instagram. I only want to add the fact that in terms of his Instagram followership, which is Twitter, it probably is more English speaking
Mm-hmm.
audience. For his Instagram, because a lot of his followers are most likely from the countries of the former Soviet Union, for me as an advertiser, as a brand, that audience, especially if it's a brand in the United States, it's not really that valuable just because they're not my primary consumers. So I would always, you know, try to focus on English speaking audience, just because those are the audiences that will buy products that I will be advertising in the United States or in Canada or in UK. So we are seeing a huge influx of followers, you know, over 50,000 followers, but it's also like the quality of the followership is a factor in terms of their purchasing power.
I 100% agree with you. The thing is, like, we don't have actually access to the data for the that event, and we didn't really do the research how they promote in post-Soviet Union countries. So, like, do they do any promotions or not, and other stuff. So that is why,
They
like,
don't.
I'm
I'll tell you right now, they don't. They the maximum will do a TV commercial and that the fight is coming, but there's no promotional events for any sort of international fights in the former Soviet Union countries.
so
There's no
it's
money in that.
yeah, but so it's highly likely that he giant really like valued our audience. Like, this is also like you can take the audience with the boxers that you're fighting with. So highly likely you can take the audience, like English audience, they're more like desirable on from your standpoint.
Absolutely. Alex, we have 3 minutes left. I was wondering if you can conclude sort of like your opinion about how the fight ended, and like what does it mean for their marketing in general for both fighters. Briefly.
I want to conclude that they should leverage at least like a couple weeks more after the fight, because this is when you when you pick in the grapes, like, it doesn't matter really the outcome of the fight, and where you can really gonna have the exposure only is like that moment. So this is need to be most dedicating the efforts of the digital marketing and PR, on my opinion, like interviews after matches, like short form videos, like cutoffs and other stuff. So on my opinion, the boxer, because like as we can see, the main stuff is event, he need to maximize the effortness on each event.
So basically, more is better, right? It's just like, don't shy off posting more video content about yourself. Like there's never enough of that, especially before the fight and even after the fight. So it's
Yeah,
something that
we
both fighters are lacking.
Yeah, we need to take like 1 month before, 1 month after, and this is the best time to leverage the fight. So this is, I think, on my opinion, this is like much crucial moment to concentrate on making posts, making videos, telling what you're preparing, and do the things. So for the fighters, I think this is a crucial moment.
Alex, I really appreciate your time, and I really thank you for coming into the show and talking a little bit more about this fight. You know, it's funny with boxing. Once the fight is over, it's like it's been so long ago. Like there's every event is like the event that happened, you know, for the last time in the history of boxing. That's what everybody says. So I'm glad that we can come back and sort of with the sober mind uh, digest what actually happened with the fight and what's going to happen with the boxers. It was a huge surprise for me that Adro Beterbiev gained so many followers, considering that he's been around for a while. But there's definitely a spike in interest for him, which is a great opportunity for him to make a lot of money in his May event versus Dmitry Bivol. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice to be here. Like, I hope we're gonna see you in the next time.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we can discuss more fights such as Joshua versus Ngannou and Beterbiev versus Bivol, and even more fights such as Canelo versus Charlo, if that's ever gonna happen. All right.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
and analyze how they preparing and managing the marketing efforts before and after fight.
100%. All right. Thanks, sir. Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you. Bye.